Welcome back. Now we are going to move another most important part of nonverbal communication, that is proxemics. This refers to the distance. Remember, proxemics refers to the distance what we keep from others during the communication process. I will repeat. Proxemics refers to the distance that we keep from others during the communication process and shows the relationship we share with the receiver of the message or the subject we are discussing. Anthropologist Edward T. Hall, remember, anthropologist Edward T. Hall has categorized four zones in which social interaction takes place. Number one, intimate, reserved for members of the family and other loved ones. Intimate relation means very close family relations. Reserved for members of the family and other loved ones. Personal. Personal for talking with friends privately. Third one, social for acquaintances, fellow workers and strangers. Social means for acquaintance means you are very well known to that person. Fellow workers and strangers. And public for use in the classroom and for speeches before groups. The diagram below presents the four zones. You need to also keep in mind that these zones also differ culturally. For instance, an American or British person may not stand as close to the another person while speaking as they do in India. This is very important. In India, we visit to the principal cabin. We take the very close position at the chair of the principal or head office of anyone else, or it may be will encroachment of the table of the principal. We will put our hands. This is the encroachment of Indian person. It is our tendency. We used to go very close to the formal person also, but distance is very matter for communication. It is an effective way to convey your message. You put distance, particular distance. If it is a formal communication, we should follow the ethics and rules and regulations. So let's see. For instance, an American or British person may not stand as close to the another person while speaking as they do in India. The space created for the communication is also important. For instance, a manager creating an open office space without any partition seeks to encourage an unrestricted flow of communication and work among different areas. So, this is a way of communication. Here is a figure which shown about the distance. For example, public space. It is distance approximately 25 feet or 7 meter. 7 meter or 25 feet. It is distance between the public space. Next one is, that is social space. It is 12 feet. And third one is, that is a personal space. It is 4 feet. And last one is the intimate space. It is very close to each other. There is no distance, very close to you. For example, husband and wife. It is known as, or it is close distance. It is a kind of distance matter here. So it is all about the, we have talked on it. Right now move. The next one is the chronemics. It deals with time. Chronemics means it deals with time. The way we structure use time conveys our personality and attitude. For instance, if a person gives a visitor an appointment and has a long interactive session, then it sends to clear message of the person's interest in the topic and respect for the visitor. This is all about the chronemics. Chronemics, nothing, it is dealing with the time. Now we are going to move another aspect of the non-verbal communication, that is a paralanguage. Paralanguage deals with the vocal qualities such as volume, pitch, rate of pronunciation, stress, and intonation patterns. This is a linguistic part. It reflects your communication approach. Let's see. The quality of voice determines the effectiveness of the message. If you are using rough language, then it will be reflects in the audience or a receiver's mind. For instance, using a high speech reflects helplessness, tension, and nervousness. If I using different kind of intonation and pronunciation, we have different kinds of pronunciation. American and of British pronunciation. If I use here foreign tone, then you will unable to get my message. My intention is that to forward the message in communication. It is a very important part, that is our message should be understand, comprehend by the receiver. That's all. You should not use your talent and all the things. It should be reach to the students. According to the context, you can use language. So your pitch, your intonation, your pronunciation should be relevant to the context, relevant to the audience. If you are going to teach for the 5th standard students and you are using higher language, they could not get anything else. It will be become a barrier. It is language become a barrier. So let's see. The tone of voice can also reveal disbelief, astonishment, or questioning attitude. To be a successful speaker, one has to use all these elements effectively. Recording your own voice and analyzing it is an effective way of evaluating your voice modulation. If I am going to use similar tone from first sentence to last sentence, you could not understand anything else. It needs to modulate your voice, rising and falling tone using in sentence. If there is an important sentence, then I will repeat. I will focus on that sentence. I will put stress on that particular words. So that is the modulation of your voice. So let's see, next one is appearance. Your appearance during the course of communication also reflects your personality. As we know, first impression is the last impression. Your dress code should be proper, suitable to the context, suitable to the situation. If you are using informal, then it will reflect another message. It will convey another message by the receiver. So that's why according to the situation, according to the context, you can use your appearance. Your appearance reflects everything. First impression is the last impression. Let's see. Your appearance during the course of communication also reflects your personality. One's appearance may put the receiver in an receptive or hostile mood. Appearance always forms the first impression of a presenter in the minds of the audience. This is very important. If you want to create your impression, you should neatly wear the dress code according to the situation, according to the context. A well-dressed, elegant person therefore makes a good impression on the audience. Certain dress codes have been established for formal and informal occasions. Generally, at the workplace, people are formally dressed. In offices, in government offices, everywhere, if we look the tahsildar or collector, it reflects something different from general people, common people. So, everything it reflects into your appearance. Appearance should be proper and neatly. For instance, during the interviews, presentations, or during the formal situation, it is understood that formal clothes need to be worn. In interview, in formal meeting, you should wear proper dress code instead of wearing other dresses. You may not go wearing different kinds of dresses. According to situation, you go through that. If it is a informal function, you may go trendy dress, no problem, but if it is a formal communication, you have to go with proper dress code. Here are some few tips for effective communication. Let's see. Communication is a process through which we convey our messages to others. However, we also face major barriers. Barriers means problems to communication. Barriers that slow down this process and make process ineffective. The first major barrier is that language. If I am going to deliver a lecture to illiterate person, I cannot use English language. I must be use the mother tongue. It could be understand by the receiver instead of using another language. I could not get any Telugu Tamil. So there is a national language in India, that is the Hindi language. Hindi can be understood by everyone in any corner of India, or English also understand by us. So, however, we also face major barriers to communication, barriers that slow down this process and make the process ineffective. It is important that we overcome these and learn to communicate effectively. One must be conscious of the importance of effective communication as a skill that is evaluated along with other skills in the job market. This section presents a few tips to help you make your acts of communication effective. However, this is not an exhaustive list but a few indicators. There are some few clues are there to improve your communication, your non-verbal communication as well as your verbal communication. So let's see. First one is the sender of the message should be able to use the correct language suitable for the masses and the context. This is very important. Earlier I discussed it. As per the context, your language should be simple, higher, whatever you require. You can use as per the context, as per the situation. The speaker should choose his or her words carefully, being fully aware of the context. This is very important. As according to the context, you can use language and words. Do not use informal words in formal communication. Or you cannot use technical jargons, technical words. In communication, it is very important point, that is you can simplify your message at your own level. Though it is formal or informal, you cannot use language which is in text. You can use simple language, appropriate language, correct language. It could be understand by the receiver. Let's see. She should not use technical jargons unnecessarily.